Stand by for the Comic Industry Insiders live pre-show. Stand by graphics. Cue graphics. Roll intro. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start pre-show. Cue logo intro. We're live, people.
Hi. It's Comic Industry Insiders Live, our weekly conversation where we talk about the comic book industry. We do our best to make it as niche as possible, so only like 3 or 4 people actually care. It really is a finely honed skill that we have developed over the years. And it helps to both be middle-aged white guy and bald. So, there's, if you have this ability, chances are you look like us.
Two key traits:
Yes.
middle-aged, white guy, bald. And what we like to say around here is, like, when you think you're niched enough, niche it on down. Bring it down even more. If we can get down to 2 to 3 people that we're really talking to,
you just want to like niche under niche till everybody in the room just goes, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Dudes named Bob who own a comic store who are 36 years old would really be kind of
Bob.
The ideal, right? Yeah. Ideal niche. Your
Venn diagram should look like a flower, basically. It's just just a tiny little. Oh, thank God Marvin Wynn's here. Marvin Wynn's here, everybody. We can actually lock this show in right in the pre-show. He's here.
Right in the center of the niche.
This whole show is basically for Marvin Wynn. So we know that when he's here, we can actually begin. My name is Adam Freeman. This is Brian Garside. This is the pre-show section of the conversation where we bring everybody in and we chat and basically give you an opportunity to find us on the social medias. We have a pretty good show today, though. I'm really looking forward to what you built.
Yeah.
You did most of it, so I'm assuming that it's done. Because if I did,
I don't know. There's a lot of slides. There's a lot of slides there that I don't recognize, so I'm hoping that I'm on the right deck. Let's just say that.
Good.
I'm on the
Jamie's here too. Jamie Coville's here, so we're gonna have a good show. Let's bring some folks in. You wanna what? I see you guys fixing the slideshow as we talk. Let's bring Could Not Run Prana or Comics the Magazine or basically my whole life without Megan. Megan, what's up?
Not much. How's it going?
We're here. Your audio has gotten better, by the way. Did you just turn the air conditioner off? What's going on?
My computer decided it didn't want to crash and burn, so the fan on the computer calmed down.
That's nice. It's nice when they finally just give in to making things a lot easier for you rather than harder.
Yeah.
What makes things so much easier for us is Trevor. Trevor is he does make things easier. My favorite transition is that ability to just completely catch you off guard. Yeah.
I was ready, and then you waited until I wasn't. I think you said something about the slides. I was like, I'm going to look at the slides real quick just to be sure. And then, hey, Trevor's here.
It's my special skill.
Brian, if you're seeing a lot of red, that's the right one. And I think
good.
Got that one on. Yeah, we're good. Yeah,
lots of red in this deck today.
Yeah, I thought I knew Bob, by the way, but you said he was 36. My Bob's 37, so he's right out of the niche.
No, sorry.
We may have had a birthday recently. I don't know. I've been keeping up on my Bobs as much as I should.
No, this show's only for Bobs who are 36 years old. So if you're a Bob,
my Bob's sitting at home. He's like, for a second, I thought they're talking about me, but no, I'm out of here. I saw the ticker go down. Bob left.
Lost the Bob.
Were you frozen? Oh, okay.
One Bob down.
I think that might have been me. Hopefully everybody in this house decided to let me have the internet. We'll see. I just found out why I'm going to have to redo the internet in this house, because it turns out it was set up like 10 years ago by a much older person. So there you go. Speaking of much older people, Joe, you are not a much older person, but you sound like one.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. It's not. He's a young, spry whippersnapper, but he's got old man energy when he starts talking. You think he's going to tell you about life insurance. Am I wrong? I mean, You know,
You're talking about me. My internet actually did cut out again. So you're talking about me? You're talking about life
yeah, I was
insurance?
talking about you.
I'll talk about fishing. That's old man
I was
enough.
gonna say he does talk about fishing more than my dad.
Old dude's got it right, folks.
That's true.
Cafes, where coffee costs $2, and fishing, and
Just sitting around a fire. You know,
come on,
chilling. Yeah.
fixing automobiles.
Do you
What are we
wear
doing,
anything
Joe?
that's not flannel?
What's that?
I'm just realizing that in the time that I've known, I mean, not the first time we met, long time ago, but in the time that you and I have been working together, I don't know that I've ever seen you in anything other than flannel. And like
yesterday,
summertime, straight up
Well,
summer, and you're out there in the flannel. I'm just saying.
I'm curious, Joe. How are the tariffs affecting you? Because all flannel is imported from Canada. It's kind of our national thing. So, are you looking at a 500% increase in all your garment wear lately? Or
here's a way to get me bored real instantly. Ask me, Joe, what do you think about tariffs?
No, it's how are the tariffs affecting your clothing purchase?
Also, let's take a look at Joe.
What are we doing?
Let's take a look at Joe. He doesn't buy a lot of clothes.
I was
But
gonna say,
it's not a bad thing. I just assume that most of the clothes that Joe's owns, he's had for a while.
That's another old man thing that they get right. You get 6 shirts, 7, 1 day a week. You're good. There's a laundry machine downstairs.
Buy stuff that won't wear out, and
My father-in-law, 40 years ago, bought 5 of the exact same pair of shoes, so that every time he wore out of one, because he was tired of shoes just going out of style. So he's like, I like these shoes. I'm just going to buy 5 boxes of them, and then as they wear out, And the man had the same shoes the entire time I knew him until he passed away.
That's a man who has his life figured out.
Yeah.
That's figured out, yeah.
You know who else has their life figured out? Brandon Schatz. I have learned over the years, this is a guy knows what he knows. He believes what he believes. He's open to talking to you about it, but eventually he's going to wear you down. How you doing, Brandon?
Yeah. I'm doing great. How are you?
And Brandon will talk with me about tariffs, Joe. So, we're just going to start discussing tariffs right now.
2 Canadian boys.
Those tariffs, eh?
We have a new client at Prana who is Canadian, and we were just discussing paperwork with them that we have to bring them on. A new client, you have to bring in. There's a lot of paperwork that has to 2 different companies, and they're Canadian. And they were Megan sends them the pretty standard line of, well, we need this, we need this, and we did this, and they went, well, we're Canadian, so it's this, and we're Canadian, so it's this, and we're Canadian, so it's this. Well, wait a minute, what?
We need a 401c or something. I'm like, what the hell, the 401c? I don't have that. Good God.
Oh, I can't wait till you guys hear about this new. Oh, this is gonna be a fun one. We get to talk about it. You're gonna like this one. So yeah. Anyway, so listen, Brant. Before we started the pre-show, before the show, this was the pre-show. Brandon was telling us about his newest YouTube obsession. And I know that this is you like literally the Venn diagram for the interest in this is on the screen right now. So tell us what you were watching, Brandon.
And Bob.
Yeah. Bob wants to know this. So the other day I was talking with one of my customers about that Stanley interview that he does with Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld where they're drawing a character.
God, yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Overkill.
Yeah.
And so I ended up doing a little search. Guess what? There's a whole list. I put it in the back chat here. There's a whole list of every single one of these episode things that came out on VHS, the comic book greats.
Yeah.
And
I had a lot of those.
Yeah.
I was listening to the first one before everyone went live here, and it's Todd McFarlane in like the 90s, and Stan's doing his whole people say people don't need any introductions, but I figure I should do one anyways. And he's doing his whole deal. And they're talking for a bit, and then he's like, your wife and kid is here. You're a young guy. You balance your life right. That's pretty good. Do you think they'd like to be on TV? And they bring everyone on, and Cyan's like 6 weeks old, they say.
Wow.
There. And I'm just like, what are we doing?
That's amazing.
Those are great.
It's wild.
The Jim Lee one, I have the VHS tapes too. The Jim Lee one has like a look at Wildstorm, like way. I don't even think it's called Wildstorm yet. It's just like pre Omad, like whatever. It's just like his studio space, and it's him like touring around. Like there's a Stanley interview, and then there's like this segment that's just like, and here's how I make comics. It's a wild look into a very different era.
I'm digging into these. Sean, have you seen these videos? Do you know what we're talking about, man? This is Sean from the Comics Pals, y'all.
Hey, I have not.
You dude.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Here's the thing. In one of these, buried deep in one of these interviews, is the moment that will live in absolute infamy, or famous. I don't know. What is the opposite of infamy? I guess whatever. It's a very famous quote where Todd is drawing, like, I think it's Spawn, and he draws a chain, and he goes, because kids like chains.
Kids love chains.
Kids love chains.
Kids love chains.
Hey, that's what came from the.
He's correct.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
I've got an 11-year-old will not stop talking about chains. He wants to go to the hardware store and buy chains every Saturday. It's annoying. His room is full of chains.
Based on deep analysis of children, that sounds wrong. I know that kids love chains, kids love fire, and kids love lightning. If you have a lightning shooting, fire breathing, chain wielding dude, that is like that will get all of the kids.
And that's
Like
why
the
Spawn
dinosaur.
rules. That's why
Right.
all these years later, I still
Yeah.
subscribe to it because it's
Yeah.
a cool looking dude with lightning in the background fighting monsters.
Yeah.
And there's spikes
Well, that
and
was the
chains
topic
everywhere.
this week of what kids like. So, like, I think we did it. Good job, everybody.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Tune
Well,
in
that's
next
the
week.
fastest episode ever. 4 minutes before go time. We're done. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next week. We got to do some ads, though. So we'll have to stick around. This is an all ad show.
All right, fine. Fine. We'll do a whole show. Whatever. Oh, can I tell y'all? I had the most amazing thing. I was just telling Joe about this. I had the most amazing pop culture week last week. Not only did I get to, well, all right, let's start with it. It started off, I went with Gabby and I finally went to go see Odyssey. That's an incredible movie. You should go see
My
it.
God, that's so good.
So good. Yeah.
So beautiful. And it just, I mean, you know what I think I love about it is that it handles its themes so well despite being 18 hours long. It like hits those themes in just the right amount of time. Anyway, all right.
But it's only like 25 minutes longer than Spider-Man.
My favorite tweet that I saw about this was a guy saying this movie is so long, by the time I get home, my house is going to be full of suitors.
It is pretty great.
All right, so then Brian, you're gonna like the way that you're gonna come back around to the end. So then on Thursday, that was Wednesday. On Thursday, we go. I have tickets. We bought tickets to 2 different shows this week, months and months and months ago. Didn't realize they were on the same week. There's too many Canadians at Prana. I'm sorry. This is an American company, y'all. Anyway, so then next night was Pomplamoose, which is a band that I don't know if anybody knows. I absolutely love this band. I've been in love with them since like 2011, 12, something like that. And the one of the people, it's a couple, and one of that couple is now the founder and CEO of Patreon, a man named Jack Conti. Cool. Incredibly smart dude. He has this video out, this South by Southwest video out where he talks about art and AI, and I think you all should watch it. It's complex, it's smart, it's everything. All right, so Pomplamoose, amazing time. Next night, here in my hometown, that was in Brooklyn. Then here in Huntington, we went to go see Chance the Rapper, which, by the way, was not expecting Huntington to be able to show up for Chance the Rapper, but they did. Turns out there were more than the people that we usually see in town for this show. Let's just say it that way. Amazing show. Tore the roof off the place. Incredible. And then then on Saturday I went out to Secret Stash in New Jersey, and I met Kevin Smith and that crew, and we talked to him, and I watched him do a signing for 5 hours straight where he stood and he chatted with people. It was incredible. He like hugged people. He was like engaged with every single person who showed up, lying around the block. 5 hours he did this. And I wasn't realizing till like yesterday that the theme of all of this is these are independent artists. Yeah. These are people who started their careers being independently making art. They did everything they could to keep making art independently. Chance the Rapper has this one song that is basically like, fuck you, I'm going to create art and you're not going to get in my way. Like, it's legitimately they made Patreon in order to make art. And he truly is a comic stud. Like, the dude knows comics. I saw him sit and pitch Joe Quesada's career to somebody who had never heard of Joe Quesada. Nice. Incredible. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I have to say, I had such a good week. I'm jazzed up. I'm ready to make more independent art. And all we do is talk about shit. So whatever. What we're going to do. Yeah. It was crazy. It was a great week. Anyway, I talked through all that. Nobody gets an opportunity to respond because we have to.
It was good, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting.
I don't need to talk. I'll listen. I listen for a living.
All right. We're going to pull you all out, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to do this live. Thank you all for being here. Joe, we're going to have you back in a bit. Megan, thanks for being here. Everybody else, we'll see you in a minute. Where's me? That's the cue for the you're pulling people out. Yeah, I'm going to pull you out. All right. Let's do this.
Bye.
Where's It's Comics Industry Insiders Live. That's right, a weekly show where we talk about the comic book industry. We talk about the news of what is happening in the comics industry. We talk about how it's going to affect you, your business or career in comics. In the pre-show banter, we talk about independent art and we talk about how kids love chains. Like, it's a good show that we're going to have, and it's really primarily a good show because of my partner, who's going to really be the star of this show, Mr. Brian Garside. How you doing, buddy?
Good. This is a show that I've been kind of preaching for so long that I thought this was one of your topics from San Diego. I'm like, yeah, no, I know this one. I've heard this one 1,000 times. Oh, I give this one. That's why.
The one you do. No, buddy. No. How you been? How's your week? How are we doing?
Dude, it's busy. I've been doing some really cool stuff. I've got 2 websites on the go right now that, like, as you know, I don't build websites anymore except for when I do. And
you only build websites when you are procrastinating from work that you're supposed to be doing.
That is a true story. That is a true story. Yeah, I was supposed to be doing some accounting this weekend and decided to build a website instead. As you do, because that makes sense somewhere.
Pro tip, if you need a website done, preferably with a really interesting way of buying a particular kind of ad, if you need Brian to do it, wait until he has accounting to do. That's the key.
And then text him, which is why not very many people have my text numbers, and say, hey, what about this? And then it spins off, and I do that for the next 4 days.
Hey, listen,
last night I go to sleep at 3 a.m. and here we are.
And here we are. We did it. We did it. Oh, man. Anyway, I think we have a good show this week. I'm really looking forward to it. What are we looking at? What are we doing? What are we talking about?
I should probably pull up the
that was me
the deck is what you're saying. Yeah, no, yeah. I should have probably had the deck ready to go then. So this week we're talking Dog Men and Babysitters. We're talking about the entire Dogman generation and the Babysitters Club generation, and how they are coming into comic shops and are part of the reason of the spectacular 20% success in the last year. And we're also going to talk a little bit, although this isn't in the deck, about how this is a cyclical thing that happens about every 20 years. So this isn't really unprecedented success. We saw this 20 years ago. We saw it 20 years before that as well. So yeah, we'll talk about all that stuff and a lot more.
All right, but I want to just say we might just want to just kill the whole thing now that Tommy's here. I just want to make sure that we know that he's here.
So good show, guys. All right, nice work, everyone.
See how?
Oh wait, we got some ads to do still.
Oh, we got ads.
Still got some
Oh,
ads, yeah.
we got to keep the ads from bumping into each other. Okay, fine. All right. Oh, you know what? You know what I did? I totally forgot we were going to do a giveaway, and I didn't come up with anything. Let's see. Give me a second. Give me a second to think about this.
All right. In the meantime, I'm going to tell people what our hashtag is. So our
Yeah, you do
hashtag
that.
this week and every week is CII Live. So that's the letter C, 2 I's, an L, an I, a V, and an E with a hashtag in front of it. You have to do the hashtag and this so that our system actually
Wait a
picks
minute.
it up. So
Pick a
make
number
sure you-
between 1 and 15.
6.
6. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So, yeah,
keep going. I'll be right back.
If you use hashtag, there we go. Jamie Coville has already got our first CII live up here. So get that in. Last week, I think we only had like 8 entries. So 1 in 8 is a pretty good odd for you. And what are we giving away?
Okay, so this week we are giving away. I just did this as you saw this happen live. Okay, you were going to give away The Future Is Volume 2 hardcover. Look at that with the spot gloss. Come on. All right.
That's pretty sweet.
All right, we're going to Volume 2. Yep. We're also randomly, because you picked number 6, that was the 6th box in my comps pile here.
Okay.
We're going to give away 10 Years to Death cover A. This was our comp issue sent to Prana DM. I'm not even going to take it out of the wrapper. That's what you're going to get. Look at that.
Okay.
Okay. CII Live. You're not already. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally.
What? There's more?
There's one more. There's one more. Comics the Magazine.
Oh, come on.
Number 6, Secret Variant, Ghost Brawler. There you go. Look at those 3 things. This is 3 separate things. You know what? You know, one guy named Bob loves these things.
Dude,
that's
like that. You're just basically giving somebody a $30 bill with that Comics the Magazine.
This is what I'm saying right here. This is like $50 and an evening that you're going to enjoy.
That's insane. All right, people. So you are.
Okay.
If you look across the bottom, you're going to see a brand new scroll that has all that information in there. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Futures
How did
Volume
you do
2,
that?
10 Years to Death cover A plus Comics the Magazine number 6 Ghost Brawler Secret Variant. Comment CI Live in the chat to win. Dude, I'm just that good. I'm
impressed. I am impressed because I literally did just pull these things out random. You saw me pick it out randomly.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I'm impressed, Brian. This is an impressively run show.
Thank you.
All right. Hashtag CII Live. Get it in there.
So we're only going to leave this up during the news, and then we're taking it down for the main, and then we're going to bring it up towards the end. So
that's right. So if you don't get it in quick, you might not get in.
Pay attention, people.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay. What
This
do we
week's
got?
headlines. We got headlines. We got our Dog Man and Babysitter. Oh my gosh, we got the Prana bestseller list.
Yeah,
I haven't even looked at what the numbers are this week.
Statman is here.
Excited. And our usual wrap up. But let's get started with what's this? What's happening? I saw this on Bleeding Cool.
I know.
You made the news. What's going on?
Make the news. You know what? If we're going to talk about this, we have to talk to the guy who legitimately made that happen, who happens to be behind in the green room because he was in the pre-show banter, which you maybe didn't watch. You didn't see it if you're Tommy, that's for sure. So here, Joe, tell us about how this happened. And I mean, honestly, it was great that Rich, if you're watching this, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Rich. That was
very cool. Yeah.
How'd it come together? Well,
how'd it come together?
Kevin Smith is not just a famed film director or comic book creator. He's also owner of a comic book store called The Secret Stash in Red Bank, New Jersey. And there have been big supporters. Mike, what's up? Hope doing well, sir. They've been big supporters of the magazine since like day one. In fact, we actually got sent a photo, I think from another comic store, but of Kevin Smith holding Comics the Magazine #1. And they just leaned in and were really supportive and really kind. And yeah, we talked to them a few things, but yeah, got to line up a pretty huge interview with Kevin Smith. I've not edited it down yet. Adam won't let me run the whole thing, which would be about 30 pages. It would be awesome, folks. So write into comics industry insiders and demand that. But anyway, yeah, Kevin Smith rules. Like that's the overall take of this interview. The guy's the real deal, loves comics. Rich did ask in his thing if we talk about Marvel and Star Wars. We do extensively. In fact, we kind of met up to talk about that again after it was announced. So there's a whole lot of Kevin Smith, and also just to Adam's point during the pre-show banner, a lot of it is also about like being an independent artist and putting it all on the line and making a career, and talking about the impact of Daredevil and how Jimmy Palmiotti got him to do Daredevil when he thought Kevin Smith was ready to throw in the towel. Not for nothing, not because the interviewer, but the interviewee makes it an awesome interview. So highly recommended. Kevin Smith, Comics Magazine number 9, right? Yeah, there you go.
Yep, 9. Yep.
I think so. I'm super excited about this one. So number 8 will be our October issue. Number 7's coming out, I think, next week. Number 8 will be our October issue. Right?
Yeah, number 7's Brubaker Phillips. Number 8 is Dungeon Crawler Carl. Mega interview with a whole team, basically. Matt Dinneman and Brett Bean and Mike Morrissey and Adrian from Vault. And then 9 is Kevin Smith. 10 is to be revealed.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
But yeah, Kevin Smith rules. Like that's the whole point of this. He's the real
Kevin
deal. Yeah.
I haven't spent a little bit of time with him on Saturday. I can tell you, he is legitimately the real deal. I said this in the pre-show. I watched him pitch someone Joe Quesada's career, which that's somebody who's used to knows how to hand sell, knows comics, cares about both. Like he would do well on this show. Kevin, drop by. We'll see you. All right, cool.
Hey,
thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
We've had Nick Patera, who did who's drawing Bizarro Year 9. So
that's right.
We would just complete the set. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Good to see you.
Bye, guys.
All right. What else we got? What else we're talking?
Oh no! This is now we got to bring things down.
I know. Dave Lamphere. He was a comic letterer. He was a friend. He worked with us at Valiant. He has done so much work as a designer, as an artist. Over 3 decades, he has made a career inside of the comics industry and has done amazing work. He's done work through Marvel, DC, Valiant, Malibu, Image, Dark Horse, Dynamite, Chaos, like you name it. The guy has been all over. I'm so sad to see that this we've gone. He apparently passed away from complications of diabetes. Take care of your bodies, kids. No matter how much you're making comics, you got to take care of your bodies.
58 is far, far too young.
Too young. We'll miss you, Dave. Thanks for being with us. All right. And Roger McKenzie. Yes. So Roger had an incredible career as a writer. He did a ton of stuff, including Captain America, Ghost Rider, Battlestar Galactica, Marvel Fanfare, Vampirella. But the thing that he's best known for was doing Daredevil and creating Ben Urich, the character Ben Urich, who has endured even up till, now he's in all the TV series for Daredevil. But most importantly, he was the writer during that run of Daredevil when Frank Miller first got his first Marvel work. So huge, incredible writer for comics. And once again, just an amazing talent. He came up through, he was an executive editor at Charlton Neo. Legitimately built a career inside of comics, died peacefully in hospice care. Roger, thank you. Thanks for being with us. And thanks for making comics. Seriously, both of those guys. All right. This is a hard right turn.
Right. Maybe we should have had a buffer going out of that.
Maybe.
Just
bring
note
it down.
For the future.
Talk our way in. We got to take a moment. Yeah, it's all right.
A black screen maybe would have been.
Hold on. What? Tommy's saying we lost Dolly Parton?
Yeah, I just got the notification on my watch like 5 minutes ago. Yeah. 80 years old.
God damn it. All right. Well, all right. Anyway. Well, you don't drop that in the middle of this show.
I know,
Tommy.
right? I know. Right?
Okay. Let's go. This came to us through Comic Book Kayfabe, which was an incredible YouTube account, incredible podcast. We in many ways owe our show, the existence of our show, to it. But it is still the Facebook group is still very active with independent comics creators. I saw this up there and we reached out to see if we can bring it up. A comics creator who made some money on a fairly successful webtoon, really broke down in a way that is really understandable how these things work, how these platforms work for the artists that are distributing through them. It is webtoons and tapas, and these platforms allow you to do vertical scroll comics that allow you to get to a huge, massive audience. But it was really interesting to me to see when you start breaking this down. You want to? I don't think I have. Do I have control?
No, I got it.
So he talks about making this comic called A Safe Place to Live, and put it up on several different platforms, right? He didn't just rely on one. It was on over several different ones. And here's a breakdown of how that looks. So through webtoons, we're seeing almost 500,000 views, almost 6,000 subscribers, right? The huge numbers. 6,000 copies sold of a single issue book in comic stores. That's actually that's a success, right? Tapas 65,000 with 200 subscribers. Global Comics 6,000 views with 45 subscribers. I don't recognize these last. This fourth one, but DeviantArt got 662,000. What is this one right here? Does anybody know?
I've never heard of Tapas or Comic Fury.
Oh, Comic Fury. There you go.
Yeah,
I've heard of Tapas. That was I want to say it was Jamie Rich was involved with that for a little while. Anyway, got up to number 1 on the thriller charts on Webtoons Canvas. Currently promoted on the homepage of Global Comics, right? So not just deep in, but like on the homepage, marketed well. All right, so let's look at, now that we know big numbers that this book has
huge
been,
numbers, yeah,
right?
This next one's going to be huge.
How much they make?
What? $11.07 in
for
1
1
month
month
on Webtoon.
Yeah,
4 months of payments on Tapas is 22 cents.
Yeah, I mean, digital comics still important. Oh, am I being heard? I don't know.
Yeah,
Hear me?
we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Digital comics are like, we talk about them being successful, but this is what success looks like for some of these platforms. I think it's sobering to see that. And in a little under 2 years, that's what you took to get to monetization. So he did this for 2 years before being able to make $11.29. So, views to money ratio. So that $11.79 came from 75,000 views, which means it was a 0.00014 cents. That's, I guess it would be a 0.014 cents. Or from Tapas, that is, oh boy, that's a small number. Let's just put it that way, per view. So this is what success in those platforms looks like right now. Just shocking to me. He also does Patreon, 6,148 subscribers across all sites, 65 patrons of $1 or more, so they can get it, which means he's got a 0.01 conversion rate to his Patreon, right? So that's all the subscribers to all those sites get pushed to Patreon, and of them, 65 people take on $1 or more a month for his webtoon. So you can see pages early. So that's a 0.01% conversion rate.
$82 a month.
That is really incredibly sobering. All of this
Yeah.
from Winston Gampro. By the way, we did invite Winston on. He sent over the slides and, wanted them to speak for themselves. But if you are a fan of independent comics, please do hit this QR code or find him on Instagram. Please go to the Patreon. $1 or more is really not that much, especially for somebody who's laying it out on the line here.
Mhm.
I would say, it's definitely worth checking out. A Safe Place to Live for $1. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Winston, for sharing all of that. And, for those of you who are trying to build brands in that arena, listen, this is what you're up against. It's a good place to get an audience, but is it a good place to build a business? I think it seems, according to this, not yet. So hopefully. Anyway, wow, a lot of bummers this week.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what else is a bummer?
What's that?
Last night was Monday night, and do you know what I did Monday night for about 2 hours?
I had forgotten this was the segue. Did you do your FOC orders?
I did my FOC orders. I had to go through multiple websites, including one of my own, which I'm pretty proud of because it actually
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier to find
Mhm.
stuff. But I had to go through multiple websites. And then I was like, what is this Dungeon Crawler Carl direct ship to? Oh, this sounds important. And I had to go and find out why is this listed, but the regular edition. It's so much work, Adam. And I
It
have
is so much
so
work.
little information. It's
And
so
you know
hard.
what? It would be good because you got to decide whether or not you can pitch this. Are you going to be excited about this product when it comes in
Right.
to tell your
Yeah.
fans? Right? You got to be excited. You got
Yeah.
to know. And
I
so
need to
I
know.
think
I need some
every
info.
week we should hear from these creators and tell them. But you know what? Don't take my word for it.
Don't even do it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Todd Black, and I'm the writer of 5 Bullets, 6 Men, a crime noir graphic novel coming soon from Source Point Press. In the book, a detective is called to solve the murder of 5 gangsters. They were killed in a crowded restaurant, and no one knows who did it. Or do they? Now, the detective has to look at not only the suspects, but the 5 men who died to figure who the 6th one was that got away. The book is coming to retailers this September, so get your pre-orders in now.
Hi, my name is Alexander Bankita. I am the writer, one of the writers on the series Beware the Witch's Shadow, Monster Bash. I wrote the story inside of it called Broken. It's a story about a strange protagonist who is unable to speak, who seeks something from a monster that he needs in order to continue his life. And it's one of several stories in this horror anthology, and I'm sure you'll like it.
Hey everybody, this is Mark Sparacio. I'm the co-creator of a character called Bombshell and Tom Tom that's going to appear in Cursed Verse Resurrection in September. Please check us out. And this is...
I'm Angie Santalo, and I am the model behind Bombshell.
And trust me, she's terrific, everybody. I just hope all you guys give us a try. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm J.C. Vaughn, writer of Dead Inspector #1, which is coming up on final order cutoff now, from American Mythology. It is the story of a detective in Pittsburgh who suddenly and accidentally discovers that there's been a serial killer operating for more than 100 years. Obviously, this isn't normal, and he and his partner decide to check it out on the sly. Perhaps the last mistake they'll ever make. On sale in September, 2 issues, and I think you're going to enjoy it, especially if you dig vampires.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kane. I'm a comic book and manga author. I combine all things that I love about comics and manga to make stories that are fun for younger and modern audiences to read. I do that by taking the exciting and fast-paced fun of manga and the more grounded and colorful storytelling of American comics to create worlds for everyone to enjoy. That's why you should read my new series, Super Fighter Boy, which is a story about Kai, who by chance is swept into a world of underground fighting where he has to decide between keeping what he loves a secret from his friends and family or potentially getting grounded for eternity. But he's not alone. He has 5 others just as motivated as he is. But in a world where you can shoot fireballs out of your hands and super speed punches through the air, the stakes could never be higher for this Super Fighter Boy. Coming to stores in October. Thank you.
What a package. That's a good group.
Holy mackerel. Yeah.
I'm
5
telling
different
you.
books.
I know, very, very different. And I think you are definitely choices, no matter what kind of shop you're ordering for this week. 5 Bullets, 6 Men, trade paperback, Todd Black, Alex Garcia, available from Source Point Press and Prana in the Prana Publishers section. Who else? Who else we got?
Beware the Witch's Shadow.
Beware the Witch's Shadow from the Monster Bash. This is a fantastic anthology put together by American Mythology, also available in Prana Publishers. Please check that out. Cursed Verse, Resurrection, also American Mythology in the Prana Publishers section of your catalog, written by S.A. Check and our good buddy James Kahurik. So we're really looking forward to that one.
James.
Yeah. JC Vaughn. It was so good to see him. JC, he actually ran, he's been running Overstreet forever. I think he still is.
Oh, really?
That JC Vaughn is who this is. So yeah, Dead Inspector, written by JC Vaughn, knows a little something about comics. This guy. Yeah. And this this book, I've actually seen some pages in this book. This book looks really, really good.
Yeah, the art looks really good.
How much fun is the kid? Hey, look at this image, and then listen to that kid pitch it. I'm so ready for this. Marshall Kane, doing Super Fighter Boy trade paperback, out from Cosmic Lion in the Prana Publishers catalog. I think this is a good opportunity for us to say, like, if you're a publisher and you want us to do some quick cuts for you, reach out. We should talk. I think this is a great way for retailers to kind of get a feeling for what these books are.
Yeah, and it's something you don't get anywhere else. You're not going to get this kind of thing,
exactly
on the previous sites. Hey, let's make sure that everyone is hitting that CII live in the chat. I did see it a little bit ago, so we're definitely getting some
CII hashtag CII live. You're going to get these 3 things. 2 things that we worked on. Actually, 3 things that we worked on. This obviously is from our magazine, The Secret Variant. Go Sprawler. Look at eBay right now. We're just giving you money.
$30. Your
pocket. We got full screen here. We got the Secret Variant, right?
Look at that.
With Archie on the back. Look at that.
Nice.
Secret Variant. Come on. We got the Hat Volume 2 of The Future Is.
Look at that lenticular
Kickstarter only. Kickstarter only. You're not going to get this if you weren't kickstarting the Volume 2. And this right here, straight from my comps. That's right. Straight from my comp boxes is what was it again? 10 Years to Death, cover A, wrapped up and sealed. This is what comps look like when they come to you as a publisher. So you're going to get this one right here. I'm kind of tempted to open it and take a look. Maybe I have one that is open.
Don't do it. Don't open it up. No, don't. It's sealed. That's part of the mystery.
You're still in the plastic.
They're all still in the plastic, and I've been smoking over top of them for the last 35 years. But other than that, they're still in the plastic.
It's the same plastic.
The same plastic they've been in for 35 years. They smell terrific.
They're all in good shape. I don't know who this.
Hey, speaking of, nope, none of that works.
No transition there.
No, there was no transition that would have worked. So let's talk about Dog Men and Babysitters. That's our featured topic of the week. To get started, I'm going to set the table before we bring in our special guest.
Please do.
But I just want to talk about this because I've been talking about this generation for, it feels like a long time. I know I've mentioned it to multiple publishers. I cornered Nancy Spears in California 2 years ago and was like, listen, here's the thing. And I pitched her on CTM Street Team. And sorry, it wasn't CTM, it was ZCN Street Team. And she didn't know what I was talking about because I said Z instead of Z.
Yeah, see,
but
we don't know it. We need this. We need to use the right letters, but whatever.
We're going to talk about what the Dogman generation is.
Yeah.
How they came to be, why they're important, and why I think a little bit of the 20% increase that we've seen lately is because of them. And if I look at my own demographics for Earth 519, which is my online comic shop, I see that most of my new subscribers are under 20, like, 23 to 18. And I think just talking to other retailers, we've seen the same kind of thing. And retailers chime in the comments, are a lot of your new pull box subscribers these new generation of people? And if so, we're going to talk about why that's a healthy thing for the industry as well. So some key demographics. A lot of this stuff started when Scholastic, who's been doing the Scholastic Book Fairs since like the early 2000s, in about 2005, 2006, they did the Raina Telgemeier Babysitters Club. They also started producing color versions of Bone. And around then, they started doing Amulet, which is by Kazukibishi, I think. And those things kind of kicked off the beginning of, before that, a lot of the Scholastic stuff was just prose. Like there was, Captain Underpants, which was prose with spot illustrations.
Right.
But this was like actual comics as part of the curriculum. And these people enjoy physical media. They buy records, they buy tapes inexplicitly for some reason recently. They have been buying VHS tapes. Like, I know this because some of them live in my home. They also have newly disposable income because they have their first jobs. They have, those high school and post high school jobs. And unlike our generation who got our knowledge about comics from comics, these guys have been immersed in this since childhood because Marvel has been $1 billion franchise. So they've grown up with, what is it now? 2008. So 18 years? Is that right?
Yeah.
16 years
2008 was
of Marvel movies.
18 years
right?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. What do they look like? Literally this. These are two of the people that live in my house who are part of this generation. I've done extensive interviews with them over the years about what gets them into this stuff. And the secret origin of it really stems from the Scholastic Book Fair. And these are recent ones. But what you'll notice on this compared to like 20 years ago when these came out, graphic novel is front and center. The first thing in the top left-hand corner is the new Raina Telgemeier Babysitters Club graphic novel. And you see that there's like callouts, graphic novel, survived. On the second page, it's all graphic novels on the very beginning. So these are kids who, from a very, very early age, are steeped in the language of comics. And that's really, really important because if you get to a certain age and you haven't figured out how to read a comic and how the panels go, it's really, really hard in your 20s and 30s to do that. I know this because as a 20-year-old, I would introduce friends and girlfriends to comics and they'd go, I don't get it. Right. But this is a generation that has been comic literate from day one. And so that's an entirely different thing than what we've seen before. And going back to my earlier thing about 20-year cycles, 20 years ago, we had the Ultimate cycle, right? We had all the Ultimate stuff come in, and we introduced an entire new generation of fans to that stuff. 20 years before that, we had the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, where my generation got introduced. So these things tend to happen in 20-year cycles. And this is just one of those cycles that's happening right now. This is the thing that I talked about to Nancy about, though. So up till grade 8, these kids are inundated and comics come to them. And then in grade 9, when they get to high school, there's no longer Scholastic Book Fairs. And it's not that they abandoned comics, it's that comics abandoned them. And I keep hearing from retailers, the cynical ones are like, well, kids fall out of love with stuff like this. No, because to them, comics it's not, I read comics and I read prose. It's I read. It's a very, very different, like my kids don't differentiate from reading a comic or reading a book. To them, it's just reading. So it's not that comics are leaving them like, because they're discovering girls and things like that. It's that there's no venue for them to find comics at this point. And not an easy venue. Like this is a thing that came to them all along and suddenly just disappears. Some key traits about them: they didn't have to learn the language. They just see it as reading. They're interested in the themes because I've talked about this a number of times. It's not that, you know, comics are something separate from culture. Comics used to be pop culture, and now they're just culture. They're just something we all have a language around. We all talk about the latest Marvel movie. We all talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is like, isn't it the largest grossing Hollywood movie of all time right now, or something crazy, or
Yeah.
the biggest Marvel since Endgame, maybe. And at this
And
age, they
rightfully
also,
so. It's a great movie.
it's really fun. Yeah,
I
it's a fun
saw
movie.
that with Kevin Smith's crew. It was remarkable watching them. But anyway, I don't know why I humble bragged that in the middle of your presentation. Go ahead.
Nice. I love it. And of course, at that age, they want to be challenged, so they're interested in what that next thing is. So what do they like? From my and retailers, I'd love to hear from you guys too. And this is a key point here. Marvel Rivals has added a lot to that age range as well, and that's why you have things like It's Jeff and Squirrel Girl hitting an entire new group of kids. Absolute has been a huge touchstone and has introduced a ton of people, and I think it's one of those, like, just like Crisis kind of reset the DCU and allowed a bunch of us that didn't have to go wading through decades of material. Absolute has been the same thing. DC Compact Comics are $10 in the same format these kids are used to. They're used to manga-sized digests. Marvel Premiere is a little, the price point is a little high, but it's still like, I know it's a big seller with us. They see things like Invincible, so Battle Beast is a hit, Vertigo because it's challenging and slightly dangerous, and in a lot of cases, these are not the things that your dad was reading. So they're something different, something that they can have. So my son's Batman is absolute Batman. He's read, the other stuff, but to him, like, that's the thing that he owns, the same way our generation like owned Wally West and Kyle Rayner. I didn't hit the button right. So the question that we have for our panel today is, how are we going to harness this audience? And that's where we're going to bring in our friend Brandon Schatz from Variant Edition Graphic Novels and Comics. I love this, owner and comic sommelier. That's a mean word to make people say. Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doesn't say here secret Canadian as well, although variantedmonton.com should kind of just say that. You're surrounded, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed it when it was in grade 8 and grade 9. Not its proper 9th grade and 8th grade.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's cultural. And never mind. It's very tiny. Brandon,
Hey.
as a comics sommelier, does this track with you as well? I'm curious to know, for you, like, where do you think we've seen the Absolute line be so absolutely industry changing? What is it about that line that has made such a difference with this generation?
A couple things, actually. So DC has been really good at getting these books to people. Like Brian was saying, there's an access issue after a certain point in time when, like, the Scholastic Book Fairs stopped catering to audiences, and I hear it all the time from librarians. But not only are they compelled by the Absolute line, because they are actually influenced by sort of a manga style of storytelling. DC's meeting them where they're at, which is to say, when they digitize the Absolute books, they're also doing them as their Go scrolls. And I think maybe they've been putting them on Webtoon, but I'm not 100%. But they're definitely on their digital app as scrollable comics as well. And so part of it is speaking the language and meeting the kids where they're actually experiencing content, and having a book and a line that is geared towards the type of language that they grew up reading.
And so that language really does kind of carry through. I mean, I've heard people say that like that manga transition for a lot of people is, what got them ready for Absolute. Where do you feel like, I know, Brian, you've talked in the past about how that's only that manga sort of transition only happens for some, but not for all. Like there are entire demographics that we're missing because of this, who haven't been reintroduced because there's that gap, right? Have you seen that as well, Brandon?
Oh yeah, that's me. I thought you were talking to Brian because he said Brian's name last. I was like, yeah. So yeah, and part of that too is a lack of attention for the demographic. So part of that is sort of like that feedback loop that ends up happening where one begets the other thing, which causes the first thing. So it's true to say that like the Scholastic stops at even sometimes before grade 9, basically. And one of the reasons for that is they find that they don't do as well in high school. Like Scholastic doesn't just have their line of books at these book fairs. They actually kind of source from a bunch of different places that they have deals with to get these books into schools. But book publishers and all these people are just like, well, especially they're just like, oh, well, like, teenage boys don't read, so there's no sense in kind of catering to them if they're not going to read. But then there's no product for them to really get into. So you end up with this feedback loop of just like, there's nothing interesting there. So they don't go seeking. And since they're not seeking, product isn't being made for them, which is, I feel like is kind of where manga kind of has filled in some of the tones of that. Even though it doesn't reach everybody because it is in a way different language. It reads in a different way too. Some people just aren't wired that way as well. But like the type of genres that they have over there, ranging from like all sorts of like even cooking and sports and fight comics and all this kind of stuff. Like their range is a lot broader, and I feel like that having that over here has actually helped us quite a bit in terms of getting some traction, while our book market and graphic novels market doesn't really cater to them. Like Marvel and DC have their kid stuff to an extent. They tend to farm them out to other companies, but there is that gap of just like things that are marketed to the YA audience. And somewhat luckily they've really hit with this Absolute line here, and I'm hoping, and I've seen that kind of trickling across of people getting more books. But at this point I'm rambling about the point that I made. So.
No, I think you hit a bunch of things, and it's interesting too. Like the boys don't read is such a like trope here. We were going to have Shannon live on, and she was literally at Scholastic last week just talking about this very stuff. So it would have been great to have her here to talk about some of this. But it's a narrative that's like, it's so weird because it's not true. It's just they're not reading the stuff that the teachers want them to read. They're not interested in reading Romeo and Juliet. But if you give them the right stuff, and to me, it was always like, I always challenged my son with the stuff that was just beyond his comprehension, right? Like I'd give him, I don't know, something simple like I don't know, like Batman or probably Spider-Man. Spider-Man tends to be a little easier to ingest than Spider-Man. And then I'd give him Aztec the Ultimate Man, right? And so his brain got kind of broken because he's reading Grant Morrison. That's like the most accessible Grant Morrison. And then he came downstairs and like grabbed one of my JLAs when he was probably 13, Morrison JLAs. And he brought it back like the next day. And he goes, I don't understand any of this. And I was like, yeah, I don't think you're quite there. And then like 2 years later, he read it again. He was like, that was amazing. I want to read more stuff like that. So it's like, you have to get things at the right time. And then that like encourages that loop. And that's where librarians that are knowledgeable about this stuff really, really make a huge difference.
So here's something that I've run against that's been causing a few problems. I do book fairs myself, and to schools, and I do school orders. And right now, Alberta's kind of running a bit of the play in the States of like banning, and specifically graphic novels, which is great. And what's resulted from that is a lot of schools are more hesitant to bring in a lot of books because both YA prose and YA graphic novels have more adult language, have more adult situations. Will often have like a tame sex scene or whatever. And part of that is the way that the book market markets, and it markets because it knows its demographic. Like kids always want to be older to experience things, and they want to grow up faster. So your kid books are about people just going to their first day of school, and those kids are reading middle age, and the middle agers are reading about teenagers, and the teenagers are reading about college kids. That's what they want to experience.
Yeah.
And so you get these weird instances where I remember very clearly when all the stuff came down on DC's Black Label line because of that Batman Damned comic. And reading the mature readers lines, which would still have like the, what do they call it, Skrillex, or the censored words when they wanted to say the F word or whatever. In DC's YA line, in their Starfire one, like I'm Starfire's kid, or I'm not Starfire's kid, or something. I can't remember exactly what that is. There's a bunch of F-bombs in that one.
Really?
And
that's interesting.
It's because the market, that's comfortable for the market, but for the mature readers line, because there's Batman in there, no, you gotta watch your P's and Q's. And so even DC as a company realized we can have more mature content in our young reader stuff because that's what they want to read.
Right.
So that was really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And so
that's
that's the access problem that you're talking about, is like the books that they want to read can't get into schools now.
Right.
So the mechanism, this discovery mechanism, is no longer within. It has to come from external.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, it's funny. I remember talking to Nancy about like the Minx line, and just saying like that was a case of something that was 10 years too early. If that came out now, I swear to God, like regifters would just sell, 1,000 copies. Like all that stuff, if it was available now, I think would do really, really well. What are some tactics that you use to kind of be that place, to be that soft landing place where, one, parents are comfortable that their kids are getting this material, and two, like that the kids know that they can find interesting stuff here?
So the tough answer is, like with all things, when you're building an audience, it takes years and years and years.
For sure.
Even when I used to work for a comic shop, I worked there for 8 years, and it was a very slow change in sort of the demographic of what was being sold there. It was a very Marvel heavy store that never went away, but we were right next to a main university. And the simple fact that like they weren't getting in a lot of like independent works that would speak to just a broader range of kids whose minds are like developing and searching for all these different ideas, was bonkers. But it took so long for people to realize there are places, there are things to do. And so like, unfortunately, the work is kind of happening now, and we'll see the fruits of it like 5 years from now, because now everyone's recognizing this audience does exist and wants to read stuff. And just like how manga hit its big boom, like, well, there's always these big booms in cycles again. Kind of during the pandemic, everyone's scrambling. Now you're seeing a whole bunch of these publishers introducing more specific manga lines. There was one like 2 days ago or something like that. They're introducing a new manga line. Fantagraphics even like formalized a new manga line, but their publishing schedules are so far in advance that you to build these things, it takes the data that they're seeing now to go. And that's how I've seen it sort of inside this business is sort of, we built the young readers section and we have our littles, middles, and young adults, and they're all separated out. And we have all of those in genres there too, because discovery is for everybody is not like spine and critter whatever. It's seeing and connecting, and then working to establish trust with families and kids and all that kind of stuff, to take them from littles to middles to young adult to all through, and making sure those adjustments are there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing classification. Yeah, like I think as a store owner, like the things that I really look at is making sure you're racking for these kids, because they're the lost voices, right? They're the ones that once you get them, you're going to keep them. So introduce them to Absolute. Like every single teenager I've introduced to Absolutes has just been, especially Martian Manhunter, that just grabs kids. I've gone so heavy on that I'm doing a Comic-Con in like 2 weeks, and I've got just stacks of that because I know we'll run through them. Ask them, what about, was it about Dogman that hooked them? If it's the humor, show them the humor. If it's like kind of it's a little naughty, it's a little, there's some scatological humor in there. If it's that kind of stuff, you
A
show
man
them
marries
the
a garbage
stuff.
bag of the first issue or the first volume.
Yeah.
Like,
and these kids are like hungry for a reason to be there. And like, I'm a big, so on issue 8 of ZCN, Adam sent me some comps because I ordered an ad in it, and I had so many. I had like just so many. He sent so many, dude. and so I gave them to my son and said, just hand them out to friends. And like so many of those kids, and he was in grade 11 at that time, or 11th grade, I guess. Is that right, Adam? Is it 11th grade or is it grade 11? Which one do you
It's
do?
11th grade, but I was
Okay,
not in
okay.
11th grade. Your son was.
No, my son was. No, my son. I'm
Yes,
just
right.
asking. So he handed them out, and like half those kids were like, they make comics still? Like it was unbelievable to them that this entire industry existed still. And we got a whole bunch of kids that were just like, hey, I want to read DC New Frontier. I want to read this. It was amazing. Like that little pile did more. And I've been convinced that like just having a street team that's just handing stuff like that out is the way that we're going to find people. And my number one thing, you got to give Dave Pilkey a body horror comic. We got to get him. We got to make this happen. This has got to happen. I'm telling you, that's going to be a billion copy seller.
That,
I think he's making too much money.
Or can I give you a counter proposal? Let's do the Dark Knight Returns of Dogman.
Oh, I mean, he kind of done stuff like that too.
Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Grim and gritty Dogman. Okay. All right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I have one final question. Do you have anything else, Brian?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. We have one final question in here, and I think I want to say that we've had so much great stuff in the chat. We just don't have time to dig into all of it. But so you definitely, if you're not, I think most of it is on our YouTube channel, so you definitely should check that out, because we've got some really smart people in there talking about it. But one of the things they're talking about, and I think, Brandon, you might be able to help us with this, is we really need to find the book that Adriano's wife will introduce her to comics. So, I mean, I assume all women are the same, so you can just decide, right? Like you can just give one recommendation that all wives would eat this up, right? This is the thing. Yeah.
Sandman
this is the wife book. Yeah, exactly. So
actually, according to Tommy, it's Fables. So there you go.
Oh man, that was an early learning experience of mine of being a young comics worker at the shop, and and having this young lady come in and like, hey, I'm looking for new comics. Before you start, I don't want to read fables.
Or Sandman.
and that simple interaction just in my head just being like, ooh, I need to double check how I've been approaching this.
Yeah.
Which is terrible to say. I'm just like, are women people? Interesting.
Fascinating.
This
You
goes
don't
into,
say.
by the way, this is a digression of a digression. You call yourself a comic sommelier, which
Yes.
I think is a fantastic phrase. But I personally think, and I'm positive, I think, believe to you and to many others, and I think we can all crack this if we crowdsource this idea. We need to find the definition of the person who works inside of a comic shop, who's going to hear what you love. They're going to hear what you read last. They're going to hear everything, and they're going to be able to hand you the perfect book, right? That we call them hand sellers. Sommelier is good, but what I'm looking for is the word that does for that person who is that incredibly detailed and very specific skill. The word for that person that does for them what the word barista did for people who make espresso. We need to find that word
for a while. Yeah,
we'll get there. We're gonna find it, and I feel confident that it's out there. But Brandon,
well, so
thank you. By the way, do you have a recommendation for Adriano's wife? Because I'm just
no, and here's the reason why. I don't know who she is.
It's a good call. Adriano, I know how much you love visiting comic shops, and I mean, I assume everybody in Canada is just like a 30-minute drive from each other. So you go by Variant Edition.
Super close.
I think you should be
Close.
hook that up. Brandon, as always, thank you for coming by. We appreciate you, what you do. We appreciate also. Are you still writing your the column whose name I'm going to remember and go back to my notes?
No worries. It's the indirect market, and actually, I've got one coming out this week on Comics Beat.
Fantastic. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, check it out. Go buy Variant Edition, and and find out what your next book is if you are anywhere near Edmonton. Thank you, Brandon. Well,
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Looking forward to keeping you. You're welcome, Adriano. You're welcome. We'll find you that book. All right.
What I did is I just read my wife some log lines, and I was reading her the log line of Beneath the Trees, and just like, okay, so I said, I've never read a comic that between the first series and the second series, I dramatically changed my opinion of the main character. Like, I was legitimately angry after the second series. And in the first series, I was like, oh, this is adorable. This is so fun. And then, oh, yeah. And she was like, okay,
All right.
I'll read that. I want to read that.
Last call.
chance.
We're getting close to the last
people.
call. You want to get the secret variant? You want to get that? You want to get that comic in Comics and Magazine secret variant? You could pay a lot of money on the eBays if you want. You can go buy a bundle from your retailer, or you could just put in CII #CII Live. This from my comps, mine comps. I don't know if I'm gonna ever nail that joke.
Bro, I don't think
and the future is hardcover volume 2. Look at that. Look at all that beautiful design by Ryan Hughes too. Like incredible art by Mario, whose last name I never get right, De Alessandro. Like it's a beautiful book. Anyway, all right. Put in the hashtag if you haven't already. All right. What's next?
What just happened there? I don't know how that.
Hello, everyone.
No, stop it.
No.
I think Trevor and I are hitting those buttons at the same time. All right, let's talk the bestsellers list. We got to bring our friend Sean from the Comics Pals in.
Statman.
Hello.
Statman, we're going to do the bestseller list. This is the weekly look at the stuff that's been selling in comic shops all over. We use our friends from Managed Comics, our friends from Comic Shop Assistant. We put all their data together and we put it into a big old soup. We pull out what we need. This week, what we need is what sold in comic shops last week. Sean, what kind of a week was it, buddy?
Well, this week was the second week in the last month where Marvel actually won the week.
No. What?
Yeah.
How
They
did
did it.
this? How?
This is like the old days.
That much. Such a small margin.
Like that is a tiny, teeny, tiny
do.
margin. How'd they pull that off?
Well, they did it because there were 5, count them, 5 Marvel books in the top 10 this week. Yes, the week was won ultimately by Absolute Green Arrow, but Marvel came out strong because DC's offerings, while good, tended to sit more in the back half of the top 20, whereas Marvel really dominated that top 10. A lot of DC's books this week were those middle titles. And you can tell that from the top 10 because in the top 10 is Absolute Batman number 23, which came out the week prior.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. It was number 4 this week, and it came out last week.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay.
I'll tell you though, don't sleep on Absolute Green Arrow. Like it's surprising that it's in my top 10 most subscribed series, which I'm always shocked at. Like way more than Absolute Catwoman, which has a direct tie-in to Absolute Batman, and yet is not nearly as high. It's fascinating.
Well,
I'll tell you one thing that retailers shouldn't sleep on. We did our FOCs for Avengers #1 last night, and my subscription numbers on Avengers #1 are 35% higher than the last Avengers title that I sold.
Wow.
So this Armageddon is doing a good job of getting people in. And like of that, only 2 of them were blind bags. So it's not like that people are going blind bag crazy. It's people just are interested in this Avengers team.
I wonder how much of that also is the fact that Brand New Day is out and the trailer for Doomsday is in there, right?
For sure.
And that's gonna do it. All these people reading Green Arrow, they know that this is a guy with a bow and arrow, right? It's
but it's so good, dude. It's so good. It's so good.
Somebody tell me about Last Driver and why it's on this list.
Yeah, so Image Comics had a really strong week. One of the books that drove that was The Last Driver, which I actually happen to have here. And one of the cool things about this book that you may not know is that it's actually read this way.
Yeah, so
super cool. Super cool. Sean Murphy playing with the format, playing with the medium in a really unique way. And you can see based on this top 10 that it paid off because the book did make it here.
Sean Gordon Murphy is the Batman White Knight guy, and this is it did really, really well. It did well on the shelves, and it did well on pre-orders for us as well.
That's fantastic. All right, let's go back to that market share. Here are the things that stand out to me. Ignition Press coming in over 1% again. I think is that just on the back of them having like 50 new titles? Is that where this comes from? Like where is this number coming from?
They're putting out books and people are interested. For what it's worth, when I go to my LCS, I typically see maybe 1 or 2 copies left, after I grab mine. So they're pushing out a lot of books, but people are buying them.
Yeah, their big books last week were Arcadia, Dispatched, and Everybody Loves a Jewel Thief, which is the Aaron Campbell book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Awesome. What are the other big takeaways you got this week, Sean?
Well, that Image number is up 16%. We typically see them in about that 13-ish% range there. And that's coming off the back of the fact that there were 6 titles that made it into the top 30, or excuse me, 5 titles from Image that made it into the top 30. You had Battle Beast and Last Driver in the top 10. G.I. Joe was number 11. If Destruction Be Our Lot, 25th. And Bug Wars Special, Coming of War Doom, was 27th. So Image really put out books this week that people cared about. And again, we talk about Image a lot and we discuss the IP-ification of Image, but Last Driver is not an IP. If Destruction Be Our Lot is not, and Bug Wars is not. So that's a really good sign for them that they've got original stuff that people are interested in.
Yeah, I mean, to Joe's earlier point about Image Central really coming in hot, like I think that's it's good to see them, right? Going back to the conversation we had at the very beginning of the show, where we were talking about independent artists being able to fight it out. Image has always been that place, and it's good to see people with kind of crazy new ideas, being able to make that happen. I think that's wonderful. It's fantastic.
And also
Awesome.
different kinds of books, by the way. Very
Yeah.
different kinds of books. You've got action, you've got more thoughtful, cerebral books like If Destruction Be Our Lot, and then you've got Bug Wars, which is just a nutty mashup of, freaking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Lord of the Rings. Crazy.
Spectre. Yeah, for sure. Boom was interesting because they did an R.L. Stine book, Stuff of Nightmares, last week. And I know that one sold really well for us. And then Vampirates #2 actually kind of took off, surprisingly. And the Clive Barker, they've been doing this series of one-shots. Those have been doing surprisingly well from what I've read about other retailers. Not super well for us, but I do know that a lot of other retailers are having really good luck with that stuff.
I'd like to call out Vampirates, our buddy Fred Van Lente. I was able to go to one of the signings that he did. That guy, he was everywhere for that book. He's really been pimping that one. So I'm happy to see that doing well.
Pirates, come on, that's a no-brainer. Why isn't everybody doing that? I don't understand.
We're getting really good chatter in the chats this week, talking about sales from retailers. Here's from Ground Zero talking about Absolute Green Arrow had more hype before #1 came out than Absolute Batman did before release.
Yeah.
Believable.
It's not surprising though. I have to admit, I think Absolute Batman really caught a lot of people off guard. But I love seeing that kind of reporting. Variant. Brandon did not leave the green room. Thank you very much, buddy. The latest wave of Ignition's been way better than the first batch, which they're putting out a ton of books. They just keep coming. Coming. And talking about how they're still doing returnability on the first 3 issues, which I don't know. Does returnability still work? I have my doubts. I think bundles are a little better than returnability as a marketer, but I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. And our good buddy Adriano was talking about how they're hitting all those high concepts really, really well. And I would argue that so is Image, right? I think that's part of it, is that they are getting to a place where they are starting to have a room for those big concepts, those big high concepts. And maybe that's just it, that the IPification is allowing them the platform to bring some of these big high concepts to market. I think that's how the model is always supposed to work. I wanted to note that Brandon says I'm right. So there you go. Okay, good. Sean, is there anything else this week?
Oh, I think we hit it. Other than the fact that Marvel pushed out 2 events the same week, Avengers Armageddon 3 and Queen in Black 3, which is just unbelievable. You want to talk about how they managed to slightly edge out this week? You really need to look at the fact that they put out some huge books and only barely took it.
Are they putting out big books together because they realize that we're watching them now? Is that it? Is this like Schrodinger's cat where we're making editorial decisions? I'm gonna assume
they also put out a Kevin Smith book last week too, right? That was the Spider-Man Hulk.
Yeah, that's why Kevin was doing the signing that I went to.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about it was, apparently, if you're doing reviews of Kevin online, he's reading them. And so he was so irritated that people were saying there were too many puns. It's Spider-Man.
That's funny.
It's the king of the dad joke is Spider-Man. Why would there be? How's too many puns? That's not a thing.
This week's FOC has got the Midnight books on it, and I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I said I come from the future to tell you I'm scared of the Midnight books. I come from the future to say I'm still concerned, but not as scared. I know 2 of them have broken top 10, but they're not where I would expect them to be still in terms of pre-orders.
All right, we never do this. I'm going to ask for predictions. It's Midnight books are coming in next week. What do you think, guys? Did they take it? Was it 3 weeks in a row?
They don't officially come in until the October 7th. I'm just saying the FOCs are next week. Yeah. So October 7th, when they come in, I think they'll win, but it's only 3 titles that are going to be out. So it's going to be tough. They're going to have to do the entire backlist in order to win that week. So it's going to be tough, but they should. By all.
I hope so. I want them to have a
don't
hit.
like
I want them
because
to have
they've done everything right from a marketing standpoint. Like everything has been. I can't imagine what else they could do.
Hold on a second. I think Brandon has a quick thought. Brandon, we got it. I know that you're you saw that said in the private chats you got some thoughts on this. What do you got, buddy?
Marvel is doing the absolute best that they can on this, and I will actually have way more on it in my article on Comics Beat. But
oh my God, no!
Came in for a
no.
He's just doing a promo.
The basic germ of it is Marvel never does retailer calls. They never provide preview PDFs for first issues of Consequence. They are doing those things. They are explaining why they think this line is good, and they're actually like putting weight behind it. They don't do this normally. They need to do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is your new contact there now that David's gone? Who is putting these things together? Do you have a face yet attached to that?
They don't really.
Okay, interesting. I mean, all right, that's fascinating.
There was
awesome.
There was a room full of people, and they had the writers there. And my main takeaway was Benjamin Percy has a voice that will shake your foundations. It's ridiculous.
Really?
True.
Everyone else is up here with us, and he's got the baritone, and he's like, oh my God.
He's got that.
That's amazing.
He's got that Joe Keating voice for insurance, right? So it is. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess everybody else, you're gonna have to check out the Brandon's column on comicsbeat.com. Make sure you check that out. The indirect market. So awesome. Sean, Brandon, anything else before we take off?
I'm good. Thanks for letting me do my little plug.
Of course, man. Absolutely. It's good to have you. All right. Awesome.
We'll send the invoice to him.
Statman, appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you next week. Hopefully.
Tell us real quick about Comic Pals before we
please.
let
You gotta do that part.
Thank you so much. Actually, we are interviewing Ram V this Saturday on the show live at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. Very excited for that. He had to cancel on us last week, and so instead we talked about Robert Kirkman's comments about how intellectual comics are boring. We had many, many things to say about that one. But tune in this Saturday for our Ram V chat. It's going to be good.
Yeah, brand new Ram V book out this week. It's called Black
Tower Conspiracy.
Black Tower Conspiracy, yeah.
Which is apparently boring. So according to kidding. I have no idea. I was just going by I was playing the joke. I haven't read it. I don't know anything about it. Rom, I'm sorry. I was joke. It was a joke.
Cause a fight.
Rom is always watching.
That's actually, I believe it. Thank you, Sean. I'll see you next week, buddy.
Take care.
All right. Okay. By the way,
if you want more of this information, you should right now scan that code, get in there, sign up for the Prana Bullet. Every Friday, you get an email that is packed to the gills. Packed. I'm part of the secret SWAT team behind the scenes that's building those news stories. And man, that is the most entertaining Discord channel that I know of. And this week will be no different. And you see the top 400 before anyone else. All 400. You just saw a small sampling right now. But if you want to know what are the best sellers, it's pranadm.com and scan that QR code if you want to go directly there.
You know, I'm realizing we should do a thread inside of all of our Discords that are just the news stories that you want to talk about. We should really do that.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Let's crowdsource this.
Yeah.
Right. Trevor's getting thumbs up. Awesome.
Speaking of,
the Comics magazine is now on Discord. We're doing the Discord thing. Here's the thing. We love Discord. Most of the conversations that Brian and I have about comics and the whole crew, we do through Discord. Like, if you, we actually, it's funny, Brian, I don't know, you didn't hear about this, but over the weekend when we opened up the Comics the Magazine Discord, there was about 20 minutes where there was an invite that went to our private Comics the Magazine Discord.
No.
So a few people got in. We had to boot them out. But anyway, it's been a ton of fun getting
my gosh.
getting the Discord up and ready to go. It has been so much fun, and watching you guys get involved. Nick Patera, by the way, is turning into the superstar of this thing. He's incredible.
He dropped like original art yesterday that was awesome. It was just like so cool
progress
to see.
art. Incredible. Yeah, anyway, it's been super fun. If you love comics, if you love Comics the Magazine, if you love talking to people who love comics, hit us up. We should, you know what? And somebody who's not me, who's maybe close to around what we're doing, grab an invite link and let's drop it in the chat, because I really should have done this in prep. I really should have thought through this. All right. Anyway, we're gonna get you guys. We're gonna get you guys a link. It is Comics the Magazine. If you just look it up, I think it's available if you in Discord you search, or find us on the. We'll be sharing invites.
We're sharing them on social media. If you hit up one of us, we probably get an invite that we can send you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I want to say, somebody said likes the bullet. I appreciate you. We really, Megan puts out together a ton of work into that every week.
It's my favorite email every week.
Yes. Put us on your polls. What is wrong with you?
Do it.
Comics the Magazine comes out once a month. Seriously. It tells you what you're going to love. All you got to do is put it on your poll list. That's it. Or you join our mailing list. You get a scan right there. Here's the thing. In number 7, which I think is over there. Is that right? Am I doing it right? Am I pointing? In number 7, we've got Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. One time I emailed a comic, and I misspelled Sean's first name, and it's been embarrassing. It's going to follow me the rest of my days.
Oh no.
I know.
Well, Sean, there's 7 ways you can spell Sean. That's not your fault.
Really not fair. It's really not fair. You should not be judged for that. I know. All right. Anyway, number 7, we do the pull box power rankings, and Statman Sean does this incredible write-up. He is really killing it on that. You should be watching that if you're not. Anyway, Comics the Magazine, number 7, 40 pages of goodness coming at you once a month.
40 pages. This is the first 40-page one, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's basically like
40
10
pages,
cents a page. 10 cents a page.
That's insane. Bargain at twice the price, people. Bargain it. Wait until we raise it to $7.99.
And then
all you retailers that are complaining about $3.99 right now.
Is there a lot of them? I don't see those.
No.
Are they complaining?
No.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of things,
let's go.
Worst segue ever. This Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, my guy Max will be fresh off of our Managed Comics. What is it? What do you call that thing where you go away for a day? Do we call those a retreat? He'll be fresh off a retreat. Yeah. So we're going away on Wednesday. So don't send us any problems because we're not going to deal with them. And Thursday, he may have some information to share with people because I've got dates, I've got dates that we got to hit. So things are getting serious now. And you may find out what some of those things are.
I know a little something about some of this stuff. It's gonna be good. Well, hold on a second. While you were talking through that, I grabbed as a link. If you want to get in on that, the Discord, there it is, right there. I'm just gonna put that.
Oh my gosh! It went across all the things.
Look at that. See there. If you're watching us anywhere, you're gonna see it.
There's a finite number of those, right?
Yeah, there's a finite number. Get into it quick because we burnt out a few of these so far because each one of them has a limited number. So do it now. Don't wait. Okay. If you're a comics creator professional, if you're involved in comics in a professional matter, and if the chat is any indicator, you are, and you're watching this show, I think everybody in the chat isn't either making money or making a living in comics one way or the other. You are eligible to vote for the Ringos, which means you could go right now and you could vote for Comics the Magazine for best comics related publication. You'd also vote for Taylor Esposito for best letterer and a bunch of other people who I think absolutely deserve awards that you should go after. But 100%, I just think, as please, if you owe me anything, if you just like me at all, if you like Joe, there's more people who like Joe. If you like Joe or you like Rico, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way to go, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely should be voting for Comics the Magazine for best comics related publication. Thank you, please. And thank you. All right. Oh, let's do it.
Let's bring Trevor in.
Trevor, get out here. Where are you? Where's Trevor? Somebody push Trevor's button.
I had to
There
push
you
my
go.
own button.
Oh, I can't push your button because you'll push your button if I push your button, and then we'll be pushing
Okay.
buttons.
So last week I jumped the gun. I shared the screen.
Yeah,
that I
share it
didn't put
first and then.
Yeah. So
Share
let's get this.
first.
Let's get this done right.
Hope you people are ready.
Trevor.
Yeah. All right. Adding the stage. There we go.
All right, here we go.
We're drawn from a whole 8 people, so good chances, guys.
Let's go.
And
1 in 8
we
chance.
Are
Who's getting
spinning
it?
the wheel.
1 and 8. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Bruno Smash!
Bruno Smash.
Bruno
Awesome.
Smash. You're gonna get this in a box from my house because it can't be shipped from anywhere else because I'm the only one who has this. So there you go. Bruno Smash. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing hitting the hashtag. I hope you're still watching. Send us at info@pranadm.com. info@pranadm.com. I want you to say, oh, there he is. Hey, Bruno. I want you to send us a oh, that's not it. Whoops. There's Bruno. Bruno, send us your address to info@pranadm.com. We'll get you taken care of. Okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Awesome.
All right. Can I remove this? I'm going to remove this.
Let's close this up.
Yeah. Can I remove me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. You can remove you if you want to.
Whatever. I'm
See you, buddy.
Next
Next
week
week.
I'm off. I'm not working. I'm just sitting here. I'll be here. I'll just be leaning back and just letting this happen. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Are you going to listen or are you going to be?
Oh no, I'll be here.
Oh.
So in the same way that Brian had his little dick.
Nope.
The same way that Brian had his little deck this week.
Oh wow.
Trevor and I actually built one,
Yeah.
and we're going to be tinkering with it. The secret history of the comics industry. I've been doing some really crazy research these last couple years. We started with this panel called the Past, Present, and Future of Comics Distribution. And I was just giving a really quick talk once, and Philip Sablick said, it's much more interesting than even you're pointing out. And that led me down this rabbit hole that has these, I still haven't found the bottom of it. The number of secret bodies that are buried that are just right out here in the open once you go scratching. Like, it's incredible. You get to understand how comics follows the industry, and the industry follows comics, and all of pop culture follows comics. But all of it begins and ends with this like moment when we all decided to open comic shops. It's incredible. It's so much fun. It's gonna be a good one.
Literally, sex, death, violence, rock and roll, all of the things, drugs. It's all there. It's so good.
100%.
What I love about it is, having built the slides with you, I've seen kind of the layers that you're delving into. Nearly every bullet point that you hit is a rabbit hole. Like, you could just lose so much time on this thing. Just 1 year, pick a year, 1939, whatever. And it's like, there went an afternoon. And somehow we'll get through it.
Here's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn the secret people behind the people that we know some names about who created our industry, but that's only half the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to learn about the seedy underbelly of comics and how that. Ooh, we should have Shannon on next week to tell that story he likes to tell. Let's talk about that. Shannon, if you're watching this, we got to have you on next week. Okay. We're going to talk about how comics and organized crime have walked hand in hand almost through its entire lifetime. Like, it's incredible how many of these pieces are coming together once you begin to understand it. I love this. This is going to be so much fun. You're going to check this one out. Hit the subscribe button right now and alerts.
Smash it.
Smash that button. Awesome. All right. Is that it? We all done?
I think we landed it.
I think so. It's just you. We're leaving.
All right.
We're out of here.
You know what? All of you, especially you two, but all of you, and I'm just gonna look in here into this chat. I'm gonna look at the people that I recognize, right? Because I know you to be people who love comics, but also work with people who are fighting through addiction. I know you to be retailers who spend every day just doing nothing but making sure that people find the right comic, the one that they're going to fall in love with. I know you to be publishers who work so incredibly hard to get the work of your creators, the people who have come along with you on this journey, out into the spaces. Let's see, who else am I looking at? I know you to be retailers who spend your off hours talking about comics so that everybody who loves comics can have a place, a community, an opportunity to do that. I know you to be people who love and live and breathe comics. And you know what? Some weeks that just floors me. It just floors me how many of you give your lives to making sure that this weird little medium of ours continues on. It just floors me. And so this week, I want to thank you, because this week you save comics. Namaste, y'all.
Comic Industry Insiders Live is dedicated to retailers, publishers, and fans of the comics industry. The show is a joint production between Prana Direct Market Solutions and Manage Comics. Trevor Richardson is our producer. For more information about the show, visit pranadm.com. Have an idea for the show or want to advertise your brand or business on the show? Send us an email at info@pranadm.com. And thank you for saving comics.